Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome to Sundered. Now for those of you that don't know, this is a brand new game. It was released just this week on both the PlayStation 4 as well as on PC through Steam. Now this is it's a Metroidvania style game, so for any of you who are fans of Metroid or Castlevania like me, then you're going to know exactly what you're getting. And you can see here, from what you can see of it, it's got some rather gorgeous graphics. Everything is hand-drawn. Well, the characters at least are hand-drawn with hand-drawn animations, and it really does show. Right now, we're walking through a desert, and in just a moment, the game should get into it. Now, I've actually been playing this for a couple of hours now, but I've gone right back to the beginning for this video, and I plan on doing a series of videos for this particular game because I'm a huge fan of Metroidvania style games. And here we are, coming to the conclusion of a walk through the desert. Not sure what's going on here, but hopefully it's something that's revealed a little bit further on. And a rather epic death for her there, right at the start of the game. So I'm playing here on the PlayStation 4 version of the game. And what's this saying? You're invulnerable while dodging enemies. So lots of nice messages as you go through the game. Usually during loading screens, standard affair then really. But here is what's the start of the game. It's a bit of a tutorial here. Bring up L2, brings up the map. We've got to make our way to the end. So we very quickly go through this. Don't jump down onto the spikes. So for any of you who haven't played any Castlevania or Metroid games in the past, essentially what you get is an open-ended map. Nothing there aside from the room that you're actually in, and this map will actually fill itself in as you progress through the game, as you get to various different rooms. Some of the rooms are impassable until you get additional abilities, and then you can then come back and work your way through. One thing that's really good about these types of games, this one in specific, is that the progression through them is effectively non-linear. You don't have to go through a set chosen path, unlike what you have to do on the tutorial here. Here is very linear. Oh, I tried hitting the bad guy there. You can actually dodge through them using the circle button. And yes, I think I mentioned just now, I'm playing on the PlayStation 4 version of the game, and the main reason for that is because any of these games I actually love kicking back on the sofa and playing them on the big TV in the living room. What do we got to do? Go up? Yeah, we got to go up. So it does get more interesting in just a moment, so do bear with me. Got some health elixirs there, but unfortunately at the moment we can only carry a single one. And here we are at the start of the game in the sanctuary. Hello, Ash. How interesting that a human like you should find herself in such a place. This is my home, or, well, whatever remains of it. Surely you weren't taken here for nothing. I can sense a dark purpose in your future. But fear not, for I, the shining trapezohedron, really tripping over that word, shall be the weapon that leads you to freedom. Tripping over all my words now. I shall lend you my powers, so that you can fight in this place. Simply listen to me, and do as I say. That's a question you don't often ask yourself. What do you do when a creepy crystal floating in the air asks you to do as it tells you to do? So there you can see we've got our new ability. We can now attack, we can jump, and we can roll. So we're in the central chamber here. This is the sanctuary. You can see there's an open door there at the top, which is the door that we came through, and any of you that's looking at this map here who've played Metroidvania style games before will recognise that style of map. We can't get back up there. Over to the left and to the right, we've got a little mini map down on the bottom actually. Over to the left and the right on the mini map you can see there's some locked doors. We can't progress through them, so at the moment at least the only option to us is through the bottom doorway here. Those crystals, assuming that's what they are, look very much like outreaching hands trying to grasp us. The choice to resist or embrace is permanent. So that's a choice we get to make later on in the game. Now, the only downside about playing on the PlayStation 4 is that the loading times are significantly longer than they are when on the PC. So I'll probably place a cut here why that load actually happens. So here we are then, and we can hold L2 to open the map, as you can see there. Now, one of the reasons the load time actually takes so long, at least on the initial load, if we die, we find ourselves back up in the sanctuary, and we can drop down the hole again then, and we find ourselves right here. On that occasion, there won't be any loading screen at all. Now, one of the reasons the fact it takes so long to load is because the area is entirely procedural generated, or the map at least is procedurally generated. There's some elements that are the same each time you play. For example, there's always a locked door over to the left, and there'll be an ability access room somewhere over to the right over here. But other than that, it's pretty much a unique playthrough each time you actually play. The layout would be different. So each time my playthrough here will be different to your playthrough. So now you can see on the little mini map down the bottom that this door is locked. We can't get through there. So we need to find an alternative way through there. And like I say, the progress isn't linear. Although at the moment there's only one door to go through. It's the one down at the bottom. That won't be the only way as we progress through the game. So I'm already dropping down a bit further there. I've cut right through one room. You might not want to always cut through rooms just because there's no doorway. It's not always a good enough reason to actually try and avoid them. And you can see a little padlock just appear on the mini-map. That's an ability gate. We can't get over there because we can't jump high enough. Really do actually love this art style, and I'm not watching where I'm going. So those cactus prickle type bramble things do actually hurt you. And here we go, our first batch of enemies, and they will hurt you, but you can dodge through them. You can normally knock them out of their electrocution cycle as well with a hit of your sword. So my choice now is, how do I get to where I want to get? Well, we don't know where we want to get just now, so we're just going to keep progressing through and try and figure things out. We do know we can't go over there to the right though. Oh, and down there is an ability shrine, so that's certainly one place we do want to go towards. The Valkyrie Camp. In honor of Ishala Bagor, the Eschaton Mother. It sounds like he was going to say something extra there, but what he's saying is the shrine there has been created in honor of someone, a goddess perhaps. So another locked door up here. We can, in fact, we can't actually jump that high. More locked doors, yet more locked doors. The only way through here is down then. Naturally, the layout is pretty similar to my previous playthroughs. I'm saying it's procedurally generated. There was a locked jump gate on my previous playthrough, and this area here was also very similar as well. But there's differences enough to warrant playing through again, I guess. Right, here we're going to get another ability. Use the shrines to gain more power. They will suffice for the time being. Return with an Elder Shard and I will show you true power. A Deflecting Shield absorbs damage and regenerates over time. The Valkyries had some redeeming qualities. Okay, so it doesn't look too pleasant here. But this door we can unlock because the switch is actually powered up. You can see there's a full charge there. And our only option again is down. A long drop there. Right, so that's where we want to get into. When we get into there, that will actually give us an ability to power up some of the gates that are locked elsewhere, but we can't actually get in. There's a doorway downwards, but the gate is preventing us. So I guess we've got to find another way in. Maybe that door there, for example. Let's go up and have a look. So it's worth exploring some of the areas as well, because sometimes you do find certain goodies. Now what we're getting there from those containers are shards, and the shards we can use for upgrades, which we get back in the sanctuary. You can spend them when you die, or there is an option to return to the sanctuary from the start menu, or from the main menu. You can see there, and it's actually telling us we've got 0 elder shards. So when we look at the map, you might have noticed on the legend there, the key at the bottom, there's also some bosses and a mini boss, but it'll probably be a while before we actually come across them. So nothing down here. We actually just gone round in a circle, I believe, haven't we? So we're going to need to go up a bit higher. For some reason they tend to drop through these, not always, I was just about to say they tend to drop through these gantryways. A few of them did, and then the others didn't. So we just got to get over to that door there, assuming I can get over these without getting hurt. Right. Okay, well that door's locked as well. So something this area really does remind me of is an old game I used to play a long time ago called Flashback. Back in the days of the Amiga, and it was actually a sequel to a rather nice game called that was a corrupted treasure chest, or corrupted treasure. Oh, I've stayed still too long. We can't actually reach high enough to get that. Yeah, the game Flashback was a sequel to the rather lovely game called Another World. Another World you can actually buy now. I don't know if Flashback has been remade. I know Another World certainly has been. It's a great game back in the days of the Amiga, and it actually reminded me quite a lot of some of these areas here. So I can't get around there. I guess I'm going to have to try and find a way down. Although I don't see a way down. No, the way down is this way by the looks of it. To the right. Ouch. So you can actually extend your jump a little bit by hitting when you're in the air. It will let you go a little bit further. Of course the gameplay in Flashback was nothing like this. Well, maybe a little bit like this. Oh, we got some different creatures here now. These are worms, and we've got to watch them because they hide under the ground and come back out the ground right underneath you, generating an electric blast as they do so. So he's losing a bit of health here. And not dodging enough because we've just lost our shield. So if you hit them just in time, like I say, you can knock them out of their electrocution cycle, but you've got to do it at exactly the right moment. I'd call them more blobs than worms, but there you go, that's just me. Now look, you may have noticed that some of the enemies actually follow you along. These ones don't follow you too far, as long as... oh no, that one comes underneath me. They generally don't follow you too far, and you can outrun the worms, but I like to try and kill them all, because sometimes you've got to backtrack a bit when you get a whole wave of enemies come, and you end up with far too many of them. It becomes a little bit difficult to handle at this early stage of the game. So we can go down here, but you can't get through those pipes. You might notice a bit of hitching there. That sometimes seems to happen just before the enemies actually drop in, so pretty sure that's not intended. Nice, we got a little health elixir there. Now at the moment I can only carry one of those, but you can get an upgrade later on that will allow you to carry more than one, and I'm going to use it in a bit. Or maybe I'll wait. I think they actually hang around for a while. If you don't use them, it should be there a little bit later on. Now, one thing I've got to be careful of here is if I roll, not to end up rolling straight into the brambles. They've kind of pinned themselves into the corner there, haven't they? So I'm going to use my health elixir there. And I'm going to go get myself another one. Assuming it's still there, of course. Yep, it's still there. Great. And down we go. Now let's hope that eventually this brings us through to the area we want to be in. Which was a locked room over to the left. A locked area over to the left. So the enemies don't really spawn in at specific points so much as certain intervals. And they're prone to turning up if you stay still in one area for too long. Yeah, not doing so well there. Okay, one more to get. I think I saw another one down to the right though, didn't I? Yeah, I thought so. So these containers are usually worth picking up, the ones off to the left, the crystal type style containers, because they do contain shards. Got nearly 200 at the moment. More shards are better though. Right, so we're blockaded yet again. Oh, there's a doorway up there though. Let's see if we can get back up. Not up that way though. Should have known that because I was there a moment ago, wasn't I? So it's actually been quite a long while since I've played either a Metroid game or a Castlevania game. The most recent one... Well, I actually can't remember what the most recent one was. To be honest, there hasn't been... We're in the research lab, which is where I wanted to get. You can see we're now on the other side of those locked doors. So in here somewhere is a power generator that will allow us to power up the doors that are locked elsewhere. But we've got a bit of a problem here because there's more enemies in here, enemies of a different type as well. Now those ones, they charge up and spin into you and then pancake themselves into the wall. There we go. A few more at the top though. That's always better to try and avoid getting stuck in little corners with them because they tend to gang right up on you. I'm going to use the other health elixir there. Oh, this is one of the treasure containers I was talking about earlier. They give you a whole bunch of shards. Very, very handy. Right, we can actually unlock one of the doors here. That will kind of get us back to where we were previously. You may remember we was actually on the other side of this door just a few moments back, but that's no good to us just yet because we need to be on this side of the door. Assuming, of course, we can find what we want to find in here. Oh no, it's raining. Raining monsters. Or little creatures. A very nice animation style to these. I do believe these developers have actually released another game, but I can't recall the name of it just yet. It's actually one game that I did want to play, but I missed out on doing so. They actually sound a bit like cats, don't they? Unhappy cats. Alright, one more left. No, we're not going to let you go back into your spinny freaking out. Oh, plenty of containers around here. These are exactly the things we want. As many of these as possible is great. And I've noticed sometimes that a whole wave of enemies often spawn after accessing one of those containers, though, which is a little bit unfortunate. So now we've got a choice of directions to go. Do we want to go up? Or do you want to go to the right? We are going to go up. Hopefully it's not a dead end. Oh. Okay, they weren't too bad to deal with, were they? So, like I say, we should... Oh, got another hitch there. I hope that's something to actually get rid of. I can't imagine that's possibly intended. It's still on version 1 of the game, so... Although it is a full release, this isn't an early access title or anything like that, but... glitches and bugs do happen, I guess. Oh, we got something here. What's this then? Equip perks in the trapezohedron tree. I wonder what that one does. We'll find out when we get back there. We can see we've now got another powered down switch, which unlocks the door above us. Hopefully we're getting close to the Can we get up there? Yeah. Hopefully we're getting close to where we need to get to. Oh, here we go. Now when you get to the perk tree, and we'll be able to see that a little later on, we can actually go there through choice. From the start menu, you can see there, Return to Sanctuary, as I mentioned earlier. Or we do end up there when we die. So fortunately our progress isn't lost when we die, but we do need to retrace our footsteps to try and get back to the area that we're currently in. Which can be especially frustrating if you're on a boss fight. But anyone who's played Castlevania will remember that sort of thing very well. Did I see a treasure container there? Okay. The Western Control Room, and you can see there it is. This is where we wanted to get to, the massive battery pack there on the map. So this, if we can get to the top, I'm assuming it's at the top. Great, we've got another health elixir there. This will power up many of the switches that are powered down around the place, enabling us to get to places we can't currently get to. There are two switches. They turn the power back on, but also activate the defense system. And the defense system is the thing that's a bit of a problem. You can see there's another health elixir there. Can't take that yet, but I'm going to keep hold of it for what's about to happen, because things are about to get a bit crazy. So some of the enemies here are relatively easy to deal with, some of them are more difficult. You can see that beam weapon. That is particularly a problem if it actually manages to hit you, but fortunately, or unfortunately I guess, oh, nearly dead there. Oh, are we not going to make this? Are we not going to make this? Maybe. I'm going to try and get up to the top there because I want to get that other health elixir. And there we go, just about made that. That was a bit close, wasn't it? Come on, I'm going to get rid of this hunter. There we go. Also, check out the name of these little dudes that keep crashing themselves into the wall. Nice nod to another gaming series there, which was no doubt the massive inspiration for this. Oh. I was hoping we were done with these little guys. Right. 2 more of these big guys, I think. And hopefully we're done once we got rid of his shield. Come on, I hope you're the last one and there's no one else hiding around here somewhere. You're the last one. Yeah, that was a little bit close, wasn't it? I thought for a moment I wasn't going to make that without being returned back to the sanctuary again. But fortunately we did. Unfortunately though, I'm very, very low on health and there's no other health elixirs around. Nope. Oh, and that's the other thing worth noting now is now the power's back on. Yeah, things have got a little bit more dangerous. So there was a door around here that was actually locked a moment ago, so I'm going to try and return back to that, assuming I can get up here without disintegrating myself. I wonder if they... oh no! Well, I can do this, but not with those hunters. They are a right nuisance. Just want to get back to that locked room. Oh, and jump right into 2 hunters. What were the chances of that? Now the danger here is sitting on those pads. They're going to activate if I do that. As you can see there. Right, so this is the room where I wanted to get to, that locked door. And we can now go up and have a look what's up there. So there's 3 difficulties on this. I've currently got this set to normal. There is actually a hard mode as well, and another difficulty setting beyond that. So that switch has probably been used because of a moment ago. Ah, here's where things get a little bit trippy. Before this place turned to ruin. Not the best place for these guys to turn up. There's a locked gate there, but no idea what's on the other side of it, or even if it can be opened. So that's my shield down, and as we're very low on health, we might not last too much longer here. And you can see those weapons, those beam weapons have a very, very long range indeed. And we're getting very, very low on health here. And it could be it. Well, we didn't do too bad for our first run, but not too many shards. I would like to a few more than that, but yeah, back to the sanctuary we go, and we can spend those. Let's see what happens. The choice to resist or embrace is permanent. I think I've already read that message, haven't I? Finally, we have arrived at this point. This is one of the sources of my power, the Trapose, the tree. When death finds you, spend your shards to improve your fate. Trust me, you'll need it. So here we can spend both our shards as well as insert our perks. We picked one up earlier, but this one I'm not too keen on. Monsters have a 4% chance to convert their shards into a health elixir. The disadvantage is that enemies drop 15% fewer shards. Now, generally speaking, apparently, the advantages generally outweigh the disadvantages, but in that case, I'm not ready for it. So you can see here, there's a massive tree of perk upgrades, but we cannot go in these directions at the moment. We can only go up. I don't know whether they're related to the doors or what they're connected to, but for now we can only go up and unlock the coloured triangles here. We can't get to the greyed out ones. So the first one is for our shield, so we'll upgrade that. And now we've got a choice. We can go towards reducing incoming damage, so improving our armour, or we can go towards increasing maximum health. That way will then lead to an increased luck as well as increased melee damage. I'm going to go with this though, because we can also increase our damage that way as well, assuming I've got enough points, of course. Reduce incoming armour, reduce shield downtime, increase your maximum health, or increase damage. I'm going to hope I've got enough points to increase damage. Yes, I have. Okay. Oh, we got enough there for that as well. I'm going to slowly make my way towards that one as well, but that's going to have to be done on the next run, and we'll have a very quick look to see what's going on down here again. The world is completely different from your own. It changes constantly. It has a life of its own. Stay alert, as danger is always near.